huge majority of our sales here are through the draft cocktails we have. We have 6 on draft. So things that would otherwise take a long time to serve, we can pour super fast. They're super consistent. The quality is always there. We hand make them all. They're craft created with our own ingredients in them and with local spirits, but we can just create them in much bigger numbers. So every time somebody orders one, they're spot on. And on a busy Friday night, it's such a benefit to be able to just pour them out super fast. And consumers don't seem to have any issue with that. They actually like the novelty of it. It makes it very accessible to serve a decent range of cocktails.
I think every consumer I've seen couldn't taste the difference at all. The ones that saw it come out of a pipe were like, oh, cool, that's a new thing. It's like, yeah, like, I haven't heard any of them even scoff like, oh, you didn't make that, so why am I paying for that? I think in the back of their mind, they know work had to go in for that to come out of a pipe, premeditated, and still taste as good, if not better, than what they would have ordered.
You know, it's just the visibility of the creativity is more, it's behind the scenes more. So you can still do really inventive, cool cocktails. It's just not in front of guests in the same way.
Donc non, créativité, on peut aller super loin. Il faut juste connaître son produit, connaître exactement comment une machine marche, faire attention et être créatif.
But I think there's some aspects of it that are good and that you pre-mix for a reason, because you're using like lots of fresh ingredients, you're maybe pressing juices, you're doing fat washes, you're doing loads of complicated things that you obviously have to do a lot of prep for. So it's about kind of simplifying the service aspect of it. I definitely get that.
Every time I see a menu with a draft cocktail, it's usually like on their happy hour menu, and it's usually like a lot cheaper than a regular cocktail, and I understand why that is. I've never really wanted to order a draft cocktail unless it was like I'm on a budget or something.
Right. J'aime beaucoup les cocktails en draft. Cocktail en draft. Donc ici on travaille avec ça. La seule chose, c'est voilà, il y a certaines marques qui voient la trend arriver et qui sautent dessus. Et qui font un peu peur aux clients parce qu'ils vont mettre quelque chose de très sucré, rapide, avec des jus de citron ou n'importe quoi dans un big tank et ça peut tourner. Il faut avoir assez de connaissances pour faire un cocktail on tap bon, qu'on peut garder longtemps et complexe. Sinon tout de suite c'est quelque chose de très sweet, les gens sont là, cocktail on draft, bah non, c'est dégueulasse.
The only thing that's very impractical about it is like the sugar content in some of these cocktails, for them to be preserved, are going to do some damage to your line. And so, at some, like, you're worried about cleaning your beer line, now you got a bunch of sugar and booze jogging up your cocktail line. It's gonna do some other damage. And, you know, it has its pros and its cons. I think for speed and consistency, it's great, but it's a lot of work and it's a mess.
そうなんですよね。実は私の働いてるバーでも最初から一応作って準備してあるカクテルっていうのがいくつかあるんですが、でも例えばそうですね、人が来てはい今飲みたいっていう瞬間にお客としては早く出していただきたいって思ってしまうので、まあ10分待つよりも1分で出してもらった方が嬉しいんじゃないかなって思ったりはしますけど、まあそうですね、ちょっとずるしてる感じは私もするときはあります。
There's a bar in Bushwick that is called Yours Sincerely, and they have all of their cocktails are on tap, which is great because they're consistent and well executed every single time. But it does feel like, you know, a little bit of why we go to a bar is kind of for the performance and the drama of it, and it does feel a little bit like, oh, what am I tipping you for? I mean, you know, or just like it's not as exciting. It's a little disappointing to be like, oh, I'll make you a cocktail. Here you go. Like, that's it, okay.
Se invece ci metti 10 secondi a fare un cocktail perché ha la spina, lo butti giù, secondo me perde un pochino il fascino del cocktail. Quindi potrebbe andare bene in posti veramente pieni di gente, come in centro a Londra o in centro a New York, dove ci sono 200 persone che devono essere servite molto velocemente. Potrebbe andare, Io personalmente non lo comprerei, io non vado per un espresso martini alla spina, no, preferisco vedere il bartender che lo fa col caffè bello fresco, e che lo shakera e interagisce con me e parla con me.
Num bar como o nosso, há pessoas que nos pedem espresso martinis e nós não os fazemos porque não temos tempo nem podemos preparar. Mas se de facto tivéssemos uma torneira de pressão com espresso martinis ou negronis, venderíamos imenso. Portanto, eu acho que sim, não podem competir nunca com um cocktail feito na hora, mas num sítio onde se vende mais cerveja ou vinho ou outro tipo de produtos que não cocktails, acho que sim, que é para ficar.